what you just touched on, I'm very excited at the concept of maybe after you fight and defeat Bakir, you steal his hat and you just wear his hat.
Ooh,
I'm
there
just
we go.
like, you just walk into Brenis' lair wearing the clothes of his generals, and you're just like,
yeah,
I still need rings.
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bandai Namco podcast, where we bring you exclusive deep dives into the games you love with the people who make them possible. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Summer Games Fest. I got the tank on, it's nice and hot, and we are celebrating video games' biggest week of the year, and I am so excited to be doing that because we have a little treat. By now, you have seen the new trailer for The Blood of Dawnwalker, our exciting new RPG from our friends at Rebel Wolves, and today we are going to deep dive into all the villains, all of the twists and turns in the trailer, and we're gonna have some fun. But to do that, I need a coven. I think that's what a vampire group is called, right? A coven? I think so. We're gonna go for it. So
could be.
he is the Prince of Posting.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going for something a little bit more grandiose. The Prince of Darkness I would have taken.
Royalty. What about the Social Supreme?
Okay.
That's what I had too. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanner Levine in the
Hi.
building. Yeah.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm the Duke of digital marketing.
Oh, okay.
That's one too. That's
like
off
that
the
one, too.
dome.
Yeah.
Please don't put that on my headstone.
You doing good?
Oh yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be talking about some villains. I think
Yeah.
they're way cooler than heroes. So it's a good
okay.
way to start.
Spicy. Do you agree with that, Piotr?
Do I agree with, not necessarily.
Okay, interesting. We'll get into that.
Good.
And
we
of
have,
course,
we have opposing sides.
Yes, I like it. Good.
The battle
That's-
lines are drawn.
Yeah. And then, of course, he's the star of the recent Rebel Wolves deep dive. We saw you walking in the woods, I think, last time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was so much fun.
Yeah. Piotr, welcome back. And he was
Nice
on the
to be
last podcast. Kucharski.
Almost good. Almost
Kucharski. Okay. Yeah.
Kucharski.
Kucharski.
Very nice, yeah.
When you come back for the third time, I'll get it right by then. So
I hope
yeah.
so.
Yeah. So, Piotr, you are one of the writers at Rebel Wolves.
Yes.
If you guys missed the podcast the last time,
Go watch it.
you go watch it. It's quite good.
Come
But
back.
Piotr was here and filling us in on all things Dawnwalker, and he is back today because, like I said, we have a really cool trailer that we showed during the big show. So I'm curious. First, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. And second, what was your involvement with the trailer? How did this thing come to be?
Right. Well, my personal involvement wasn't very, big, to be honest. I was part of some brainstorming, some talks, but that's it.
Sure.
Really. I was, on my holiday, so.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited. I think the whole thing, it's really nice and it shows quite exciting things, not only for the game itself, but for the future of the saga. So
Sure.
yeah.
And I think before we get too deep into it, if you haven't seen it, trailer is
Go watch
focused on. Go watch it. Yeah, that's the theme of the day. Pause us multiple times. Go watch the thing. Come back. But in a general sense, the trailer is focused on Cohen's adversaries, right? Who has taken his family, like what is going on with all of that. And there's really a big four that we're going to dive into today, but definitely go watch that. So why villains for Summer Games Fest piece?
First of all, because everyone loves a good villain, I think. And
Like Tanner. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Also, because the biggest plot point of our game is Cohen against the villains, against the adversaries. So we thought that showing the villains, showcasing them, would be the best idea. We are almost at the last stretch. The game is releasing soon, so we thought, okay, you players, now who are you are going to play as. So now you have to know who are you going to fight against.
Right.
So
Well, and I feel like the mark of a great RPG is, as much as it is the
I agree.
heroes, it is the villains as well.
I think also it's basically for most video games when there is a villain, I think the main hero, not always, but sometimes should be as good as his main villain. So,
Yes, 100%. So, and let's dive into them. So, like I said, there's the hero shot or the villain shot, if you will, in the trailer, but in other stuff too, that shows kind of Brenis and his crew. And then I guess let's start with the big B. Let's start with Brenis, and then we can kind of go work our way down. So,
Makes sense.
who's Brenis? Who's this guy?
So Brenis is the head of the vampire clique, as we call it.
Sure.
He's the one who said that enough is enough, enough of hiding in the shadows. It's time for the vampires to come out of them and take over. He is quite an interesting character. Of course, I cannot spoil anything today, but I think that the players who will want to get into it and really try to find as much as possible of Brenis and his past, they will find quite a cool story. Of course, as our game is a sandbox, you don't really have to do it. You can just say that I don't need more motivation.
Sure.
He stole my family.
Yeah,
That's enough. I need to know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's the one who kidnaps Cohen's family. There is, of course, a plot reason for that. There is not, it's not just a villain being a villain.
Sure.
There is a good reason, I think. And I think that with Brenis, it will be fun for us as writers, the creators of the game, to see how the players will react and how will they fancy Brenis?
Sure.
Because I think he's quite charismatic. He has his motivation. His motivation is very clear. His arguments why he does some things are, I think, so nicely stated. So you can he's a villain that you can understand.
Sure.
But whom you will probably also love to hate, because this is the point.
Right.
Brenis is basically, in his mortal life, he was a Roman senator.
Fascinating.
Back in the ancient Rome.
Okay.
And at some point he was turned into a vampire, or a Bakir, as we call them. And I think that's it, what I can say right now about his past. Because, as I say, it's fun to find out for yourself.
Sure. Well, and the fact that it is not from he's not from this area, right?
No, he's not.
And that's indicative of the whole group, or is it just him that's not? They all have different origins.
I believe
correct?
that every one of them is from a different part of the world. They were hiding somewhere in the region before, and so Brenis, he just issued this call to arms. So let's call it so.
Sure.
Guys, I'm doing this thing on the weekend.
You're busy on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Maybe
I'm
you can
taking
join me in
over a village.
overthrowing the human regime. But what I really like about Brenis is that he is a person who, although he's a monster, he's a self-proclaimed monster. He is very cool with that. He says that, I'm a monster.
Sure.
But he is also very versed in human nature.
Sure.
He knows what makes people tick. He knows how humans and their politics work. And he uses it ruthlessly, but also in such a way that makes him... he's a tyrant, but one that, has quite a lot of good arguments why he's doing things in the way he's doing them.
Sure.
So I have a question on that. So Brenis is kind of, we could call him an ancient kind of guy. Like, he's very old.
He's old, yeah.
He's very old. Is that something that he is like open about? Is he kind of trying to sort of mythologize himself in that sense? Or is it just like the general populace is just kind of like, there's this guy, he's very powerful, and we don't know why?
Basically, it's more the other thing, that he doesn't need, to make a brand. He is because he simply states that I took the power because I could. Because the previous leader, the previous kniaz, so basically the prince of the valley, Skander, he was, in Brenis' opinion, he was weak. He was, treating his subjects as, as basically as animals or slaves. And Brenis, he says it was easy. I could take over because it was easy, because you were making so many mistakes that so it's not about saying, so I am this 1,000 years old, or whatever, how many years he has, vampire, and I'm from Rome, so I know how to rule. I was a senator. But you can find those things out.
Right.
And of course, people talk about it, right? There will be some instances when you talk to NPCs, and they will tell you things about Brenis that may or may not be true, because of course people love to gossip, right?
Yeah.
But that's part of the mythologizing, right? It's he becomes the...
So he kind of just like leaves it to be like, whatever you want to think about me.
Sure.
I don't really care. All that matters is that you obey.
Basically, yeah. What he does about, let's say rebranding the valley is that the Valkyrie, they changed their religion a bit. Because they took Christianity, and because the game takes place in medieval times, so of course religion was very important. It was the center of everything in Europe. And so Brenis, he had this, I think, very cool and smart idea, not to say, okay, everything goes to garbage, it's trash, it will be a very different thing. You will worship me as a god. Instead, he just remodeled the religion a bit. So the Valkyrie in this version of Christianity are more like, let's say, divine messengers. They're like people who. It's all about the divinity of rule. So of course, it's a concept in medieval times that the god was preordained to. The king was preordained by the god to be the rightful ruler. So basically, Brenis does the same thing, but with a twist.
But based in real life Christianity, like dogma,
I mean, there are saints. There is, but there is of course some changing, repainting things to show Valkyries angels, to show that that there's this whole blood covenant. So people who are giving up their blood to the Valkyrie once, I think, a month, as far as I remember, during so-called blood masses. And so, of course, in Christianity, we have the blood of Christ. So this is a play on that. So I think it's quite fascinating.
Okay. I want to dig more into that. But I do think you, as a writer, you've written some of Brenis' stories, correct? What you kind of talked on, what he is, but what is attractive to him about you as a writer? You know what I mean? And when you're crafting these stories, how has that process been for you?
So writing Brenis is much fun. It's also difficult because you want to create a character that is above everything, to be honest. Because Cohen is just a boy. To him, he's just an upstart who tries to do things. And of course, if the players play the cards right, there will be quite a lot of upheaval happening because of Cohen. But all in all, we have this vampire that's about 1,000 years old. He has seen everything. He lived in the times of the glorious Roman Empire. And now this boy comes out and says, I'm going to kill you. So Brenis, I think, is fascinating about him. What is fascinating about him is that he's arrogant, but in such a way that you can see why. It's not like I'm going to be arrogant just to show that I'm a villain. He's like, you are not very interesting to me. And so this was quite challenging because you also don't want to make the villain sound like, someone who's too full of himself. You still want the players to connect with the person behind the villain.
He's not a Saturday morning cartoon character.
No,
where it's
he's
just
definitely not. No, his agenda, his things. There are some things that Cohen is not aware of, and maybe will never be aware of, depending on the playthrough, of course. And I really like it that. I think that the players can have this approach that, okay, I think I already said something similar to that, but just to reiterate, the players can say, you know what, I don't care about your agenda. I don't care about your politics. I don't care about why you're doing what you're doing. You're the big evil guy to me. You're a monster. I want to kill you. And we try to show that in dialogues as well. So if you meet Brenis, we hope that the players will be able to roleplay Cohen in such a way that they want to basically, right?
Well, and I think his Roman origin, even I think everything you said, it's great that you can pick and choose where you want to learn from, but learning that he is from a space that famously co-opted Christianity too for their own reasonings too is
to much success.
Yeah. Nothing went wrong with the Roman Empire. But I think that adds a layer that's even more fascinating to me with that. So, yeah. Okay. So I think that's a really good kind of overview of Brenis and who he is. So, but he has a whole coven group. What do you call it? Click. Yeah. A whole clique that we haven't really dove into on the show here yet. So let's start with Bakir.
Oh, yeah. That's always a big guy.
Yeah.
Bakir, Bakir, that's what I call him right now. Bakir is quite a fascinating figure, I think, because at the first glance, he's the brute of the band, right? He's the big guy. He's laughing. He has this voice and everything. but the writing of Bakir, which was done by Magda on our team, I think it's quite surprising because there are facets to the guy. He's not just a brute, a dumb brute who is, all about killing. He's about killing, but in a cool and festive way.
Yeah. Okay. He's got flair to it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's festive. That's
And I don't want really to dive into it because I think that the players should find out for themselves.
Sure.
There is, of course, a quest connected to Bakir, and they will be able to learn more about him. So basically, in Velsangora, he's responsible for. Let's call it the minister of fun. Let's call it because he's responsible for example, for the distribution of alcohol.
Oh, sure.
And because, of course, alcohol is one of the ways you can control a population. So there are, Valkyrie spirits being distributed around the place, people having fun.
Yeah.
What I like about Bakir is he's very animalistic in a way.
Sure.
He's wild. He came from Mongolia. He was one of the golden horde of the Khans, right? The invaders that took almost the whole Europe and quite a lot of Asia. And with Bakir, you never know where you're standing with him.
Oh, interesting.
He's a guy who will, he will readily hug you, but also, snap your neck if something happens, and it's all going to be a good joke to him.
Sure.
So he's, he's called the Mad Khan. He's, so he's a bit psychotic. But also you cannot take your eyes off him. When he's appearing, he's in the center of attention, and he's also very charismatic.
Sure.
So I like it about him that at the first glance, he sounds like a brute, but turns out that he's quite charismatic, quite he's smart. So yeah, this is Bakir.
Is he the most fun to write for? Because of that jovial, but also like you never know quite what he's gonna do.
Right. Well, you would have to ask Magda about it.
Sure.
But as I talked to her, she said, that he could be tricky because of all this randomness to him. That he's random, but you also have to make it sound believable and not like a slapstick joke.
Sure.
So yeah, I think it has to be fun, right, Bakir? It has to be.
Sure.
Okay. So I feel like this is going to come up for a lot of the click of like each of these people, they must have their own reasons for following Brenis, right? And so for Bakir, I'm thinking like, does he have, like you say, he's a little bit mad, he's a little bit, bloodthirsty, may go off 1 second. Is there something that he believes in with Brenis, that he follows him because he's the strongest? Does he just respect whoever's the strongest? Like where does he fall in the clique?
Right. So he because as you mentioned, Brenis is the head of the clique, so he just gathered the other vampires to join him. And of course there must be some argument behind it. To Bakir, at least on the surface, it's all about power. It's about, having freedom to do whatever I want to do. But as you will find out playing the game, it's not so... it's more complicated than that.
Sure.
But yeah, Bakir is the guy who is like, you are powerful. You can take whatever you want. Why shouldn't I join you? I don't want to, be hiding in the shadows, feeding on animals when I can have the whole playground to myself. And it's going to be, I think, quite fascinating to watch how Bakir interacts with Brenis, even on the in the background. Because if you have this guy, Brenis, who is all about order or about stability, and you have this loose cannon, something must happen, right?
Right. Well, and I'd be interested too, because you said, Minister of Fun? Yeah. I mean, you start messing with him, you start messing with people's alcohol too. So it's like, that's fascinating.
I think that it's especially visible with Ambrose and with Bakir, that the Valkyrie are interconnected with the population. We talked about this earlier, that we want it not to be so clean that, that the vampires are the big bad guys,
Right.
because they do things for people. They, they manage the population. They give them stability. They took away hunger. They took away the Black Plague that
Right.
was ravaging the whole area. So it's not cut and dry that that so they're the bad guys. No, because exactly, if you take away one of them and then you take away, for example, that alcohol distribution, and there might be some people who will be like, where is my booze?
Right. Yeah. Especially if it's that good stuff. Would you take a drink from Bakir?
No.
No.
I would
No?
be too scared, to be
Yeah?
honest.
Okay,
I mean,
sure.
I think it would be, it would be going out of your comfort zone to
Sure.
talk to you. And I don't think I'm ready.
Sure. Yeah. I'll take my whiskey somewhere else. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I do have one other question on the Minister of Fun angle.
Sure.
Another big part in the medieval times, especially as it relates to Christianity and keeping order, is like knightly games.
Sure.
So is that something that shows up in the game at all? Like with because we've seen some knights and stuff who are under the Bakiri. Is that something that comes up? Is that something that Bakir is in charge of, or they don't really do that as much?
That's a tricky one, because this is, going into spoiler very much so.
Yeah, okay.
But I can say that, he's connected to that as well. And there will be something happening in his quest that might be a take on that.
Cool.
But it's what I can say, just
Sure.
as spoiler.
That's fine. That's
No,
fine.
that's
yeah.
great.
Just
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
like.
You're walking this line very well.
Yeah.
You are teasing to the point where I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I want to check some of this out. Well, all of it out. But yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to the third one. Ambrose. Who feels a bit more classical, like almost like English villain. Like what's the inspiration for Ambrose?
So he's the youngest one. He is the one who still has a lot of to prove to Brenis, to the other Bakiri. He is he's connected to the nobility. In a way that he was in charge of some changes in the let's say
the noble hierarchy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Who gets
of
to be
Vale
noble?
sorry.
Of Vale Sangora, or
Yeah, of
okay,
Sangara.
gotcha.
So, and again, once again, I will be saying that a lot today, so no spoilers. But so he had some fun in that.
Okay.
And he's the one who's really beloved by the people.
Oh, interesting.
He's the one who, for some reasons that I don't want to divulge today, but for some reasons people are like, yeah, Boyar Ambrose is the guy. He's our man.
Yeah.
Even that now he's a noble. He's boyar. So boyars are like the higher nobility in Eastern Europe mostly. So in Romania, in Russia. So in those places, Slavic places, boyars were like those nobility. And Ambrose is. I think that he's also the one who is the most human of them all. But who is also one, that he's very fresh into the whole Vakiri thing. So, of course, he will be doing some things that, now I have the freedom to do them.
Sure. I'm
And
a while out a little bit.
He will be embracing that part of his
And
personality.
he's a bit more fair than I think looking wise. I think he's a bit more like human looking compared to like
He has this scar on his face that the players will have to find out the origin of that. But he's the most human of them all. Yeah, I think so too, because Bakir, even as a human, he probably wasn't a very nice looking guy.
Yeah.
Brenis is really old now, so he looks like this, Nosferatu figure.
Right.
And fun thing is that Zantia is even older than Brenis.
Okay.
I think we'll talk about it later on.
Yes.
So Ambrose is very young compared to them. So as I said, he still has a lot to prove, but he's still very much so in touch with his human side.
Cool.
So he's mostly about balancing between those two worlds still, which I think that makes it quite fun to compare him to Cohen. and the ways in which the players will play Cohen, because of course you can play Cohen as straight and narrow. I want to be human and I don't want to drink anybody, as long as I don't have to. And of course, can embrace the vampiric side of Cohen. So I think that in a way, Ambrose is a mirror for Cohen. So, to see himself. I can become that.
Okay. Did they? Maybe this is too spoilery. Did they have a prior relationship? Since they're both like involved with Veil Sangora?
What can I say? I don't believe so.
Okay.
The relation here is that mostly that Ambrose was there when they took over. So he was there, as you can probably remember, all of you guys, from the CGI trailer, the first one. He was one of the vampires who attacked Skander, the previous ruler. So the connection there is more like, Cohen knows him because those are the higher ups in the valley. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So sort of in the opposite direction of Bakir, where with Bakir it's like, well, why would Bakir bother joining Brenis?
Sure.
It's more like, why would Brenis bother with Ambrose? It sounds like but it seems like you're saying that Ambrose kind of has that connection to the town already, where it's like he makes it easier to swallow. Like, we're under new management, but this guy is still here. He understands what you're going through. Is that kind of what his value to Brenis sort of is?
I think so, yeah. I mean, that he is the guy who is, he has the biggest connection to the human population. He still understands some things. And he can also, take care of something that Brenis doesn't want to, to stoop to that level.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So it's, I think, basically about that. But also, I would compare Ambrose to, to coming back to the knight analogies. I think that he's like a squire, let's say. Well, he's a knight. He's one of the boyars, but he's still on the learning side of things.
Right.
Sure.
So I believe that Brenis, if I was Brenis, I would have such a guy with me, someone who I know that will be loyal because I gave him everything.
Right.
So that makes sense.
For sure. Fascinating. This is exciting. This is exactly the kind of stuff I wanted to hear. But we have one more. You alluded to her earlier, and that is her. That is Zantia.
Zantia.
Zantia?
Zantia.
Cool. You've seen her in a couple pieces now. But
Exploding guys.
Yeah. Very scary.
Yeah,
what's going on with her? Yeah.
So she's the oldest
Okay.
of the clique, but she's not the one in lead, let's say.
Sure.
Brenis is the head.
And when you say oldest, are we talking like, born a month before or after, or is it like, is she like
she
ancient?
hails from ancient Greece.
Okay.
So she's older than Brenis. How much, I'm not going to say.
Sure.
But she's definitely older, and you can see, that she's the least human of them all. She has this veil on her face, but you can see some things under it, and you see that so she's not a lady anymore. While Brenis can be he is monstrous, but in a
Pragmatic.
but also as his I'm talking now about his how he looks, that about his visuals. That that Brenis is in some light you can say that he is not in some light because he's a vampire, but in some light you can say that in some you can say that he's like an older gentleman, right?
Sure.
That he still has human features to him, while Zantia does not really know. Longish fingernails, some fangs, and so on her face. So she's, I think, the most mysterious of them all.
Okay.
As well as her past, but also her motivations. And I think that the players will have much fun discovering that on their own, because there is so much more to her than that we have revealed so far. She's of course very versed in the arcane knowledge, in magic, so so you could see on the CGI trailer her exploding a guy, from the distance. Also on our when we showed the demo of our game, there was this fight between her and Cohen, and one of the showcase we show Cohen exploding as well. So she's very scary, very powerful, and I think that finding out about her motivation is a reward in itself.
I think what's really interesting of you saying that she's Greek, whereas Brenis is Roman, and Romans pulled so much of their culture and their systems of government off of Greece. Like, I imagine there's a huge amount of respect going upward there of like, this is sort of someone who's seen more than I have.
Yeah, I mean, they relation because with Ambrose and Bakir, it is quite clear that Brenis is the leader.
Sure.
Yeah.
He is their, he's the captain of captain, my captain. But with Zantia, it is not so straightforward because she's older, she's very powerful. So there must be something behind her reasoning why she would join, why she would join Brenis. And yeah, it can be quite surprising, I think.
For sure.
Hopefully people will be like, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I think what's interesting about this group to me is the different origin points for all of them. I guess without getting into spoilers, like what was, when y'all were kind of establishing what you wanted from this story, like what was the inspiration behind that? Because it feels like usually villains are from like the same neighborhood, sex, like that kind of stuff. Sex.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that the biggest inspiration here was that we want to show Europe as what it was in medieval times. So it was a melting pot of cultures, people were traveling, and especially in that part of the world, of course, Veil Sangora is a made-up thing,
right?
But it's in a very, very real part of the world in Carpathians. So there were so many interconnecting cultures, Germanic culture, Slavic culture, also Scandinavian culture. Everything was, joined, really. And so I think that in the clique, we can see that very, very clearly that, you have a Mongolian guy from Asia, you have a Greek woman, you have a Roman guy, and Ambrose, I think, is of German origin. I'm not sure right now, but he's more of that part of the world. So he's like more Germanic, maybe, some parts of Romania. So them coming together is like, we are from different parts of the world. But what connects us is that we are all Rakiri, and they all believe that it is their right to rule. So it's all about, like-minded individuals, because in this world, most of the monsters are hiding in the shadows. We established that very early on, that it is not a normal thing that now those vampires come out and take over. It is quite... rarity. But as I said, what connects them is that they believe that, this is our time to shine and become the rulers of the humanity, which is to them is mostly, humans are cattle, basically. What is fun is that, but they are still good owners of the cattle, so they believe that, if the cattle is supposed to be meaningful to us.
They're grass-fed.
Free
range. They're free range humans.
Right, yeah.
But, they really take care of them because they, as I said, they cure their illnesses. They give blood to people not only to make them not sick, but also make them stronger.
Sure.
So, for example, when a woman is in labor, she will, give birth to a strong child. So in turn, the child will grow up and the whole cycle will be going on. So basically, I think that if you are to be cattle, this is,
not a bad farm to be on. Yeah. I think I'm good. I don't need to be strong. I do kind of want to try a Rakiri cocktail.
And it will be very visible in the game that Cohen, he has this dilemma, right? Okay, I want to get my family back. I think that those are monsters, but what happens if as always in such stories, what happens when the government is thrown over? Because it is what I think Terry Pratchett once said, that the problem with the good people is they don't know how to organize things.
Oh, sure.
So there is the problem with good endings that, you overthrow the villain, but, the problem starts when the milk and bread is not delivered in the next morning. Then people revolt, right?
Yeah, exactly,
So I think it's a fun take on that as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Cool. You are a writer on the game, but I am curious, you've laid out 4 very distinct styles of character, right? And I think the fun of our industry is that also translates to like gameplay, right? Yeah. We've shown you fighting Brenis in the trailer, right? Can you talk about even just generally how some of these archetypes for these characters affect like how they play, or how those fights go if you choose to take them on.
They are different because first of all, because of the character, so there will be a different approach to them. There will be different road to finally confront them. You will have to do some things around in the valley to finally get to one of the boyars, and the fights themselves. Because we wanted them to not only be like, okay, now is the fight. You go and fight the guy. There is a plot. There is a quest connected to them. There is quite a lot of plot twists inside. So it's not, only about getting to a place and fighting the guy. It's about doing many things before that. And of course, there will be lots of dialogues, choices on the way, and so on. But when you get to the fights, there will be quite different because each of the Valkyrie, they have different powers.
Sure.
And it was, I think, much fun for the gameplay designers, for the animators, and so on, to make them as different from each other as possible. Sure. For example, Bakir, we talked about this in our the Road to Launch release when we talked about our release date. So Bakir is this big guy who is, he's very strong, very animalistic, as I said, but he's also quite swift, quite, he knows how to move. And he doesn't pull any punches, and this ferocity is very visible in the fight as well. Cool. So I really love this animation of him, just hitting people very fast. So maybe Cohen will be you will be maybe on the on the receiving end of those fists.
You could be cooked, brother. You better be ready. And then I think mechanically that sounds exciting, right? Too, but like design wise too, it sounds like you had a large like playground to kind of play with some of these characters. So I'm curious, like, some of the inspiration on that, and like in your writing too, right? Like, did you see the characters first? Did you guys concept them first? Like, how did that process go?
Yes, the process mostly, writers and the quest designers, we create those docs and these design documents on how we would see a character, right? Some ideas, some pictures for reference, especially when you're making a game that is set in in reality. You can have a lot of fun with changing some things and making them look different than they were, but you still want some to make it believable. Sure, let's say. So after those documents are created, our art team, they're awesome people. I mean, they are so great. And, to me as a writer, when we finally got the first, the drawings, like prototypes of the characters, it's also like, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening, and I think that they've done a great job with designing the characters because I know that I'm not objective because I'm working on the game, but I think that when you see those characters, you're like, okay, I get it. I can see what's this guy or that girl is about. I can, the whole costumes. To me, it's like, God, the cosplayers are going to have so much fun with that. Those outfits, and I also I am a fashionista when it comes to playing role-playing games. I love to dress up my character.
Of course, as one does.
I think, I think it adds quite a lot of hours to my gameplay. Always, just choosing the nice outfit. And I think that, for example, for Cohen, there will be so many great armors and clothing to be used. But also when it comes to NPCs, I think that they are very nicely done in such a way that, as I said, you see them and okay, I know what this guy is about, and they are memorable.
Yeah, very much so. So, any final thoughts from you, Tanner?
What you just touched on, I'm very excited at the concept of maybe after you fight and defeat Bakir, you steal his hat and you just wear his hat.
Ooh,
I'm just like, you just walk into Brenis' lair wearing the clothes of his generals, and you're just like, I still need rings.
The outfit is not complete yet. Yo, that would be crazy. I love that idea. Cool. Piotr?
Yeah.
You're the man. I appreciate your time.
This guy?
This guy. This guy right here.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys, and being here is such a blast always. So thank you for having me.
Yes, it is our pleasure. Is there any final thing you want to tell our audience? Right, games coming out September 3rd in the US here. Anything you wanna cover before we say goodbye?
Sure. So the game is upon us, and I hope you will have much fun of playing it. I know I had. I'm not objective, but I think it's a really good game, to be honest. And remember, guys, there are no wrong choices. Everything is good.
Well, maybe not for everyone. But
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
fun-wise good,
Yeah.
but maybe not morally good. But still, we made a sandbox for you guys, so use it as a sandbox. Have fun, do whatever you want to do, and I think that each story that you create for Cohen will be a great one. So hopefully you'll have much fun.
And as we've said before, The Blood of Dawnwalker comes out September 3rd. We're getting really close to it. Keep an eye on all of our channels in the coming months, because there'll be plenty of updates as we continue on this road to launch, and that is at Dawnwalker Game on y'all's socials, and then Bandai.
Yep, at Bandai Namco US for everything Bandai Namco.
Cool. Thank you, Prince of Posting. Thank
right.
you all for watching. Like I said, this has been our Summer Games Fest episode here. We have plenty more from this exciting time in games, so be sure to keep it locked to all of our social, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, because we have a lot of fun waiting for you guys. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
See ya.